Good evening. Welcome. Roto Slappers. It's Monday, but wait. Roto Slappers Fantasy Football on a Monday night? Yes, that is correct. Roto Slappers Fantasy Football is, with the season ramping up, is going to start taking over Monday nights, 8 o'clock, same time that we did baseball right here, Bloodline Entertainment Network. We're here for some football. So you know the man who's sitting right next to me that was with all day yesterday. The man, the myth, the legend, the banger himself, Tim King. Welcome, buddy.
Yo, dude, Monday night football time. I'm with it. You and Blake did a sensational job doing Monday night baseball. I'm excited for you guys to venture over to Sunday night baseball. You guys are killing it doing your Sandlot Dirt thing. I'm glad to be on here weekly with you, at least once a week, Mondays. Once the football season starts, I mean, we'll talk about that as we get closer to the season. I'm pumped, bro. Yesterday was a blast. We got Warrior Bowl, which has started off hot. We got mocks around 3 and 4 of our mock draft coming, dude. We got so much to talk about. What is it, 6 weeks away? Like, fantasy season is here, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, so it is redraft season. It is officially redraft season. I think ScottFishBowl, which we're going to talk about a lot, is the official kickoff really for redraft season. Kind of guides you right into it, and you kind of get the ball rolling there. But yeah, Roto Slappers baseball. I mean, we're gearing down. This is it. You got like 6-7 weeks to go in the regular season for baseball, for fantasy baseball. So you'll get some stuff still for that. In Monday nights, Roto Slappers football. Obviously, we're going to stick around now, but when the season starts, it's going to get real fun because we might have a surprise for you there with Maddie Monday night. So that'll be fun. I know we're going to go halftime Monday night football. We're going to kick it off and jump on.
Yeah, baby. Monday night Maddies is going to be fucking awesome, dude. Now, Maddie Daddy, you guys know the man, Maddie Daddy himself. Monday nights, halftime. Oh, baby. I can't wait to get down with the man. It is going to be a fucking blast, dude. Come watch some football, talk about your weekend, talk about your fantasy weekend, talk about how your team did, and come kick it with Maddie Daddy. That's going to be an awesome time.
We are going to start with here. Yeah, that's going to be if you know Maddie, you know damn what you two together are going to be a riot, to be honest. So that's going to be pretty funny because it is going to be like an 80s WWF event with you two together, but it's going to be all about football.
We've done shows together in the past.
There's going to be wrestling sprinkled in, but there's definitely going to be wrestling sprinkled in.
We've done like 80s wrestling themed shows in the past, so that's funny that you said that. Me and Maddie, we've gotten down on shit like that. So.
See what I mean?
For sure.
For sure. All right, we'll jump right into the Chicago Live recap there, but we'll start with. Okay, you got it. Okay, cool. I was going to do the same thing as you. Let it ride. Thank you, Graydon, by the way. And also make sure you tune in tomorrow night for the director's cut. Always good stuff. With no matter what he's talking about. If it's the nerdy stuff that I love, Marvel, DC, or he's just breaking out movies for you. Make sure you check out Graydon. Tomorrow night, director's cut.
What up, Kayla? What's good, girl?
How you doing?
Still interested in learning fantasy football. I think as a member of the Bloodline, I should learn. Yeah, you will learn. Just watch this show weekly. You'll learn for sure.
Yeah, and once you do learn, you're never going to want to stop playing it. That's how much fun it is, for sure. So, yeah, we're coming off a whirlwind of a weekend. I think that was one of the more fun live drafts I've been to. So if anybody just tuning in is wondering, we did the ScottFishBowl 13 this year, so SFB 13. Tim and I were at the live Chicago draft. We were in separate divisions. You were in the Pizzeria Uno. I was going to wear it. I almost put it on, but I was like, I'll just wear this one. But you were in the Pizzeria Uno. If you people don't know, these are the biggest like chain deep dish places, basically what our divisions were named after. And I was in Gino's East. Tim, you picked 1-9.
Mm-hmm.
I picked 1-3. So obviously we're gonna show you some teams. They're gonna be much different than each other because we picked at different spots. But I want to share that because let's break down this draft really. And You know what? Hold on. Before I do that, I see this comment from Graydon.
Mm-hmm.
So you like Dunkin' Donuts, I'm guessing, then, Graydon. I'm not gonna. I think the Chicago shirt's my favorite one because it has the Chicago star on it with the slice of pizza and stuff. I definitely like the Chicago one the best. I get it. It's fun and it looks like Dunkin' Donuts and it has the little fishbowl on the thing, so it is kind of cool.
But you can go and get any kind of ScottFishBowl shirt that you want, though. Like, that's the beauty of it. They sell them. All the money
till tomorrow
goes right to charity. So
you have till tomorrow, the 18th. The store will close, and you can go back right now and even get older ones. So, like, I know Blake wanted like the Whataburger. That's a really cool design too that they have. So, yeah, make sure you head to FantasyCares.com, their website, and you can find the merch store right in there if you're looking for it, and get yourself a ScottFishBowl shirt. Because they are fun and they're cool, and it's actually
we saw a bunch of dope ones yesterday at the event, which was really cool. Seeing all the different older shirts, seeing how many years these people have been doing this. A lot of first timers like us, which was cool. But some.
Well, this is my second. This is my second.
Oh no, I'm talking about your live event,
live
draft, not doing it live draft.
This is your first, right?
Yeah, this is my first ScottFishBowl, but live draft.
Yeah, you got to do live. How awesome is that?
Yeah, exactly, man.
So let's.
Otherwise, it's a way different, style for the draft. It's a different tournament throughout the season, no doubt. The live draft is a live draft. That was really tight, man. Like, you keep going though. Keep explaining it.
Oh no, you're good. I just want to break down the scoring, but you are right. And we played with some of the best in the business. Everyone there is smart. Everyone there kind of knows what they're doing. So I'm not going to say kind of. Everyone there does know what they're doing. That's why they're there. They're fantasy football enthusiasts, or they're just content creators, or they big wigs from websites that do fantasy football. Like, it's pretty awesome. Like, the number one ranker on Fantasy Pros was there, and you got to ask him some questions. Like, that's just what's so much fun about it. And everyone's so friendly too, and everybody loves to chit chat and talk. That's what I like about this live draft, because there's no clock. So you can take your time to make a pick. Everybody was socializing. Yours was way faster than mine. We were socializing probably too much on my side compared to yours. So you're going to see.
It wasn't even just the sides. It was rooms. Your whole room was slow. My room was fucking flying. There were 2 drafts in each room. Streetz' side was fucking very slow. My side,
we were
banging, dude.
Yes, Graydon. So this is some fun stuff I'm going to share too for everyone that's watching this. Yes, there's going to be probably 2 leagues at this point. I don't know how we're going to figure out something, because there's more than 12 of us now. So we haven't, all the details aren't exactly worked out yet, but yes, there's going to be probably 2 different 12-team leagues or 10-team leagues, whichever we end up with. And we're still going to do the Royal Rumble for draft order. So and you can watch that. Like, it's going to, are we going to do like a watch along as we do that, so everybody can chit chat too?
Yeah, we probably do a watch along, and we'll live stream it, and then we'll figure out a way to how the 1 through 20 ends up making both the separate leagues and the draft orders for both leagues, and we can make that all.
So I think cool. My idea is we randomized a draft order for all of us in the chat on Slack, and then we draft. But in that draft only, do you pick your wrestler? So basically, it is a draft version in the chat, and we'll all pick our wrestler.
So, and like Devin trying to get Roman Reigns, and everyone trying to get someone 98, 99. Okay,
I think it's the only fair way to probably pull something like that off. So that's kind of what I was thinking.
Man, that's gonna be cool. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I think it's gonna be awesome how we're gonna have the 2 separate leagues. It'll end up being probably 2 separate leagues at 10. Ideally, 12 would be dope.
If we get
2 winners play each other for the inaugural Bloodline Championship, and that's going to be fucking really cool, man.
That's going to be fun. So we're going to talk we'll break down your draft here yesterday. We'll start with you. So you get to go first.
Cool.
I'm going to take hold on, let me take this overlay off so it doesn't look so crazy. But yeah, so I'll pull Spike Week, by the way, Josh. At Josh ADHD on Twitter does this and Spike Week puts it on there for free for ScottFishBowl, which is awesome. And thank you, Josh, for this, because it's really cool and it gives you a nice little visual to your team. So I'm going to pull that up here, and we're going to let you break down your squad.
All right. So first and foremost, first and foremost, the Streetz was saying we got 4 divisions. All right. So there's 48 people there that were there drafting only. There were more people who were there spectating, which was kind of cool to see people there just kind of watching the draft go down. But there were 4 divisions. So for me, of course, everyone knows who I want. I wanted Justin Fields in the worst way. So I was watching all 4 divisions. Ironically, Justin Fields fell to 9 in 2 out of the 4 divisions. I was like, holy fucking hell, that's crazy. Justin Herbert fell to 10 in the other one. My strategy, what I wanted, of course, was to get one of the big 7 quarterbacks. I don't really care which one. I wanted one of the big 7. However, as the cookies fucking crumbled in mine only, I did not have the option to get one of those big 7 quarterbacks. So then it comes down to, do I want to do JJ or do I want to do T-Law? And I would much rather go ahead and like optimally take the wide receiver 1 rather than going for quarterback 8, with T-Law at that time, if that makes sense. And then what I wanted to do specifically, if I got JJ, was to stack him with Cousins then. So if I chose to go JJ, which I did, because that's just kind of like how it ended up, I have to go ahead and get the quarterback to go along with JJ. And I was lucky because once that pick came around in the 3rd round, it's 3rd round reversal. So I got Justin Jefferson, Austin Eckler, my RB2 in the 2nd round. So I got wide receiver 1, running back 2. I'm feeling really fucking good about the way that I started this. And then I get to pair Jefferson with Kirk Cousins. Now, the whole conundrum for me there was Dak Prescott was also available, which was fucking crazy to me because the quarterbacks went so heavy to start, and then it just completely died down. Someone took Tua at the end of the 1st round. T-Law went, and then it just died after that. So I was like, fuck, Cousins or Dak. You got to go Cousins. You got to take your stack right there. Took Cousins. 4th round. I beat the fucking dead bush with this. I needed a tight end round 4. It was either going to be Kittle or Goddard. I was getting myself a tight end, locking that spot in. I did it. I got myself GeorgeKittle. And then this is where it starts to get interesting. This is where I kind of wanted to go BPA. And I'm a Russ believer. I talked about it on this show. I believe in Russ. I think the offensive line is much improved. I think Jerry Jeudy's a stud. Cortland Sutton should have a better year. Sean Payton is there. Russ was still quarterback 16 last year, even with all the bullshit that went down. So I think Russ could be a low-end wide quarterback fucking 1, maybe high-end quarterback 2. He was 16 last year. I think he could be a 10 to 12 this year. And then I got DameonPierce. I got my RB2. Followed that up with Miles Sanders. I got my RB3. And then, just talking about Russ. What if Russ does fall off? I went ahead and I got Kyler Murray. I got my 3rd quarterback locked in. So at quarterback, I got Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, and Kyler Murray. So I'm feeling, even though I didn't get that 1st round quarterback that I wanted, I'm feeling really good about where I ended up. Went wide receiver heavy after that. I got Michael Pittman, great value in the 9th round. Are you kidding me? He was on my do not draft list. But in the 9th round, why wouldn't I take fucking Pittman? Jahan Dotson in the 10th round, love that. Sutton stacked with Ross. I mean, he couldn't be worse than the 44th receiver that he was last year. He's got to have a better year than that. Took Sutton, stacked with Russ. And then, you get into the bench, Elijah Mitchell, Alan Lazard, Deonta Foreman. I got Zach Ertz. I'm feeling good about this team. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm actually very, very impressed that Tim did not take a quarterback in a super flex league till the 3rd round. That is growth right there. If you know Tim in super flex, that is a growth because he's a guy. I'm sure we're going to see a different thing when we talk Warrior Bowl here in a sec, because Tim's used to be a big quarterback start a draft type of guy in a super flex league. So I'm impressed that he went out and he did this. So I'll give you some.
Thank you. It was tough. It was really tough. Trust me, because I do like T-Law. I think T-Law has top 5 potential with his rushing game. Is he going to get in the end zone 6 times again? I don't know, though.
Here's the thing.
So at the end of the
Cousins
day,
is still a top 8 quarterback, and you nail Russ or Kyler, one of the two, to go along with Cousins, you're fine. And you have Eckler, who's my RB1, by the way.
Yeah.
So, and the wide receiver one. So you got, to me, the wide receiver one and the RB1.
Yeah. I'm feeling good, man. And then I got guys I like DameonPierce, and
you like Kittle. I know that too. That's always your guy.
Love GeorgeKittle, big George. I love Jahan Dotson, 10th round value. I really liked him there.
I got sniped on him. I was hoping.
I know you're a Dotson guy too.
Yeah, he's gonna.
All right, man. Enough about my team. I went deep into it. Talk about your squad.
All right, let me. Pretty cool. I could just do it this way. So Streetz TK.
This is really cool, man. What a cool fucking app.
Yeah. So this was mine. I picked 1-3, and obviously at 1-3, we had, like I even said on the Podathon that morning. I think I don't know if we talked about it too, but on the show before that, we might have actually on the ScottFishBowl bound one. We talked about it. 1-3, I was not doing Kelsey. As awesome as that sounds to take Kelsey, who looks like a cheat code here, I'm just not sure the gap between Kelsey and tight end 2 is going to be as drastic as we saw last year. So it was hard, and the builds just didn't work out for me. I just couldn't. Like, it was, you do it, you take Kelsey at 3, and then your quarterback, you have to like reach him for me in 3 or 4 to get. It's I don't know. It just wasn't. Was not my cup of tea. I tried it a couple times when we were doing the mock, so I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to play this safe. We're going to take the quarterback. Now, I did rank the quarterbacks.
I'm going to cut you off, but where did Kelsey go then?
I think he went in ours. I could tell you right now, actually, because I just had it open because we were about to pick here. So, oh no, hold on. It's a Warrior Bolt. So many sleeper leagues now. Man. So he ended up going, he went 1-4. I knew it. So right after me, he went.
Yeah.
So I kind of figured that was going to happen. I ranked the quarterbacks, Hurts, Mahomes, Allen. That was the 3. So obviously I got the 3rd of how I ranked them, which is kind of crazy because Josh Allen was the number 1 points per game scorer in this ScottFishBowl scoring last year. He just has a week 13 bye. And so many other teams have a week 13 bye that if you don't know how ScottFishBowl works, also, I'll break that down real quick, why that's kind of a big deal. Typically, you don't have playoffs in week 13, so it doesn't matter. But in ScottFishBowl, you have playoffs in week 13. That's when they start. Because then basically like the top half of the 3,300 or whatever all make the playoffs. And then the bottom 10% in week 13 get casted off. Now, what they do is they do your yearly average score for your team. So if Josh Allen has a monster year, he's going to help your average. So you might survive that 10% fall off still, but it's just probably the tiebreaker of all things there. But it's hard to pass on him. Again, he was taken 1-1 by something in this because, yes, with the whole rushing, the quarter point per rush and everything that goes along with it, he still a stud. Not much to say about Josh Allen there. But then I actually love this pick now because in second round I was going running back. I wanted to get that running back out of the way because I had a hunch that we'll get to this, that wide receiver would fall. But I wanted Barkley. I wanted JT. And he went a pick before me. So I almost had him. This guy that 1-4 sniped me all night. So I was one pick away from getting JT, but it was JT, Barkley, who we'll talk about. I'm not worried about Barkley or Jacobs not playing week 1. They'll play week 1. There's other things I'd be a little bit more worried about, but they're going to play. The Le'Veon Bell. That's a whole other story. Never mind. And then Derrick Henry. So those 3 were the 3 I had to have there. I wanted one of those 3 to round out that big back for me. And Derrick Henry was the one that was left. So I kind of got left. The first 2 rounds, nothing fell to me. Everything was at value to where I kind of had placed it. And I was like, here we go again. Because last year was my first year in ScottFishBowl. And obviously Jefferson in round 2 looks amazing now. But at the time last year, it kind of was still value. Like based on the quarterbacks that all run in Superflex and everything like that. So, but the rest of that draft anyways kind of did work out per value wise. Like you don't get crazy things that fall to you a lot in this, which is kind of nice. And it's a breath of fresh air. It's not like the Office Max like work league where
oh no, all night long I kept saying, every single time right before I pick, fucking course.
Yep, everybody gets a little sniped and irate throughout the night.
And I expected it. I expected it, like you said. We're playing with the best of the best. If these guys weren't taking the guy that they were about to take, then I would probably question them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I just respected it.
So Derrick Henry, and then I was gonna skip tight end, but if Hawkinson didn't fall. But when Hawkinson was there at my pick in the third, that was a smash, super easy smash for me. I have him in the same tier, that second tier, basically with Mark Andrews, especially in the scoring format. So it was nice to get Hawkinson there. And then like I had guessed what happened. Like to me, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CooperKupp, and Tyreek Hill they are a tier on their own for wide receiver. They're in this scoring format, they are definitely the top tier. They're like the 28 points a week wide receivers. They're clear advantage to everybody else. As much as I like Lamb and Diggs and AJ Brown and those guys, I just think they're so much closer to like Amon-Ra St. Brown and Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams than they are to Justin Jefferson that I can't see myself taking them in round 2 like a lot of people did, because I always thought that I might be able to get an Amon-Ra or a Garrett Wilson. And sure enough, I got Amon-Ra. I was super happy about that. But Garrett Wilson was also there when I made that pick. So I had 2 of the guys that I was hoping for make it back to me at that pick. And I have Amon-Ra a tad higher. So that's where I went. So I got they call it the rainbow start. Basically, I got the rainbow start that I was kind of looking for. As you see the colors there, the blue, the red, or purple, or dark blue, red, light blue, green. So I got the core was in set, and at that point it was time.
And like for you like novices out there, so like someone like Kayla who's just learning, when you draft, this is why you have to look at positions, right? So TJ Hawkinson being there as a tight end is so much more valuable as a tight end when you look at the wide receivers, like Street said. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown and a guy like Garrett Wilson there. So you've got to make sure, we've talked about this many a time, which is why I said you got to make sure I take the tight end in the 4th round, because you got to lock in that positional value first, where you know on the swing, because he's right there on the swing, that you're going to be able to choose hypothetically from one of those wide receiver options.
You got it. And when it got to me, always look at your board, as Tim's saying. You need to know your board and see who's left. So if you're picking third, like I picked, that means that 2 teams are going to pick. So 4 more players are going to go off the board after I make that pick 310. So when it got to 310, I looked and I was like, you know what? I have a hunch that, because I think Devontae Adams was still on there too. So I was like, between Amon-Ra, Wilson, and Devontae, I got to have a probability of one of them making it back to 4-3. But I know for a fact TJ Hawkinson won't make it back to 4-3. So you take the guy that basically that stands alone for positional value there, and then you wait and see what comes back on your return. And you kind of do. That's why I said in the second round too, when you have that grouping of those guys there, the scoring kind of equals each other. So Amon-Ra to me is like AJ Brown. So that's where Derrick Henry's a clear advantage over other running backs. Now, this is a very popular tournament for builds. So you're going to see a lot of 0 RB people too in this. A lot of best ballers play in this. So they love to continue their best ball builds when they do this. And maybe in a tournament this big, it works. It's not my cup of tea setting a lineup. I like to get I like to get running backs. And as you're going to see here now, I went running back heavy. And my goal here was you get 2 flexes plus a super flex. So I wanted to make sure that I had 2 running backs, 2 good ones, and then my 2 flexes were running back. So I went DameonPierce and J.K. Dobbins. Dobbins is my 3rd running back, and I'm absolutely head over heels to have him as in a flex spot, because that's the type of guy you want to target in the 6th round. So like last year, for instance, I had JoshJacobs was my 6th round pick. This year, J.K. Dobbins is my 6th round pick. If I get that J.K. Dobbins breakout in Baltimore, like I got from JoshJacobs last year in the 6th round, you're cooking. So that's kind of where I was doing there. So then I had to find wide receiver value though, as we got there, because you got to start 3 of them in this league. So you do need to make sure you got a couple. So I took Watson in 7. By the way, I love DameonPierce. You could watch. Make sure you had. Did we do the DameonPierce video, or did I do it? I did.
DameonPierce was the first one you did. It's
up.
So. It's up. Go to the video section right here on YouTube. Also, DameonPierce, I believe, is the only guy who our
Our team share.
Who's on both of our team? Yeah, exactly.
DameonPierce is going to
call him like our Eskimo brother, or that we're Eskimo brothers with DameonPierce. I don't know what I was trying to say, but we're the only one. He's the only one that we got to share up together. Yes,
which I like. So that was a good pick. I told you in that short, make sure you head over to the YouTube page there, the Bloodline Network YouTube page. There was a TikTok video too, I think. So you can go find it at a couple places, mosey on over. Also, bloodlinenetwork.com. You can find the DameonPierce post there, and it'll bring you right to the YouTube page so you can watch the video there. But I love him this year. I think there's 15 carries a week in him, even if he doesn't see third down work a lot, which he's been working on his pass blocking a little bit. Like, we're talking RB2, so I don't get why we're hating. Like, the bell cows, there's only so many of them. There's like 6 or 7 of them tops anyways in the NFL. So after that, we're looking for guys that are going to get 15 carries if they can, even if they don't get a lot of third down work. And I love DameonPierce. They built that lineup this year, as I told you. And I think with the young CJ Stroud, with like a young quarterback, they're going to lean on the running game a little bit to help him out. So I love him. But anyways, Christian Watson then. Packers, I know, as a Bears fan. But
I love Christian Watson this year, man. So I love that pick.
Could be Love's number 1. Should be Love's number 1. That's what we're all kind of hoping there. So that's why I took that one. Dalvin Cook, I made that pick. I took him over Madison. So a lot of people are probably shocked on that because Alexander Madison is locked into a pretty good role. I'm not sold on Madison quite taking over a full season of that role, but I'm banking on Dalvin Cook not going to the Jets or the Patriots. I took that pick there in hopes he goes to Miami. Right. That's kind of my goal. And then, wide receiver 3, you got him in the 10th, which is crazy because I was hoping to get him at 9-10 was Dotson. I really, really wanted Dotson as my wide receiver 3, but I got sniped again, like 2 picks in front of me this time. So I had to go with the guy that everybody knows I love, and it's JSN. Probably a better dynasty fit, but I think he could fill the mold of a wide receiver 3. And I think, like we talked about at the DKMetcalf video, which you can also mosey on over to the YouTube page and the website and everything else and check that one out. I think JSN is going to eat into DK a little bit more than people think. I think JSN is going to be the guy there. Maybe, but if it's not by the end of this season, which I think is going to happen, it's sometime early next season. Well, Tyler Lockett might not be back, so it just might be the start of next season. So I'm guessing. But I still think there's a really good shot that it's by the end of this year. The JSN train is off and running. He's too talented, way too good of a player. And he fits Geno Smith better playing that slot role there a little bit. I think he's going to be a security blanket. He's going to get peppered with targets still throughout the season. So I like him. I'll take him as a wide receiver 3. There's upside there. And the one thing I love to do, that's the opposite of me and Tim when it comes to this. I do this a lot in Superflex is I punt quarterback 2 until I absolutely have to take someone. Like when the board is starting to thin out and there's almost no one left to take for quarterback 2, that's when I decide to go in and get quarterback 2. It could backfire, sure, but I took Brock Purdy. Tim doesn't like Brock Purdy. We're opposite on this one. I think whoever right now he's the starter. That's what I love about. I actually bumped George Kittle up. If Brock Purdy, you as a Kittle guy, you should hope Brock Purdy's the starter. Because Brock Purdy actually looks to George Kittle in the end zone. Nobody else looks to George Kittle in the end zone in San Francisco. Purdy leaned on George Kittle in the red zone down there. So Purdy starting bumps Kittle up to me. I think Purdy just runs that system too well. And I think that's what Shanahan likes. So right now, to me, he's the starter. All signs are pointing to it. They've only come out and said they love him over and over. And I love Trey Lance, and I'm hoping Trey Lance gets traded, to be honest, because he's just going to get buried there. Because there's, as crazy as this sounds, Sam Darnold might actually become the backup because he can run that system like Purdy can. And that's what Shanahan just likes to do. It's like Jimmy G all over again there. But I like Purdy. As long as he's the starter for now, I'm fine with him as my quarterback too. And then I just piled on Bateman, that's the guy I like out of all 3 Baltimore wide receivers. Would be Rashad Bateman, maybe like to call him. And then Laporta, and I had to I took Gabriel Davis. I thought that was too much good value right there in 13. Plus I had Josh Allen.
Dude, so that great value in 13. You're talking about the Dotson value in 10 in mine. There's your value, dude.
Yeah. especially if something were to ever happen to Diggs and he goes down, now I got the Josh Allen stack.
Plus, he's a boomer bust guy, dude. So if you got him in your lineup, you got an opportunity for 30 points, dude.
I do think he's going to be better than he was last year. I think they're going to utilize him just a little bit differently. I'm also not a big Kincaid guy because I'm just not a big rookie tight end guy. So I think Davis is still the 2 there. And then Rondale Moore, because I think you're right. I think Kyler is going to start. If he's healthy, he's playing this season. He's doing a half a year there. So a half a season with Kyler Murray, Rondale Moore should be an easy top 35 wide receiver weekly. So, yeah, that's where I stand. Obviously, I'm behind you on that one. But overall, I'm feeling pretty good. So I've enjoyed. The draft was fun. Love the roster. Not sure if that's good or bad. I tend to like my teams, though. I'm not usually ones that hates them. That's own it, right? You drafted the guys, own it. So that's kind of how I always feel. So I'll plant my flag on my guys and be happy with it. But I had a blast. It was awesome. Thank you, Scott Fish. Thank you to Steven for organizing that.
Steven's a fucking beast, dude. For what he did. Plus, you had guys left and right fucking up. Technology's fucking up. He's sitting there fixing. Someone could have fucked the pickup. It was fixed 5 seconds later, and I mean 5 seconds later. He's
running around. This guy. Yeah.
He's giving raffle tickets out, calling off raffle tickets, organizing photos, like getting up. I was just out meandering around, having a drink, doing my thing. They're like, where the fuck's Tim? They were about to take the picture without him. Luckily, they went and got me, dude. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad I got to be in the photo. But like, that's what he was doing. He was in our room the whole time, which is why I'm fairly certain that we were running at such a pace that we were running at in compared to your room on your side. But yeah, he did a fantastic job. So great job, Steven. And thank you, Steven, very, very much so.
Yeah, that was awesome. So hopefully now we'll have a fun season. Fab is interesting in this league. So it is a Fab league. There's no trading. Remember, so there's zero trade. This one's gonna be hard for Tim, having to go on there and realize he can't make a trade with anybody. This is gonna be a big test for the trade addict in Tim. But
it already was yesterday, man. But I was like watching that draft board. I'm like, I'd be trading into the third to get Dak right now so quickly, and I'd just be stacking Dak and Cousins. Like, why is he even available? Pick 310, Dak sitting there. I'm like, why?
That's pretty wild that he made it to there. He was there for me. I believe he was there for me. Somebody was there. I think Watson was there for me at 210, actually, and I didn't take that.
He's a D&D for me, so I didn't touch him.
He could be a top 5 quarterback, though. That's the kicker. I know he might have looked rusty last year. There's a possibility of that coming back this year. But yeah. So now we move from. I'm doing a mirror league right now for Scott Fish too. So I'm doing that draft started today. I'm picking 1-7, and I took Lamar Jackson. That's all I picked so far in that. So I did take Lamar there, but yeah, Warrior Bowl also going off now. That is like the UK's version of Scott Fish. It's also for charity. That's getting a little bit bigger too as we go. All of this stuff is awesome. These people yesterday before we get into Warrior Bowl, like 4,000 or 5,000 or something we raised. Over 3. I don't remember exactly what the number, but it was something of there for Fantasy Cares, which is they do a lot of like feed my Toys for Tots, feeding food. Like I believe it's Feed My Starving Children. I know that charity. I think that's one of them. But either way, awesome stuff they do there. Warrior Bowl also for charity raises a bunch of money. So it's fun to get all of us together to buy a shirt and buy raffle tickets and donate to Fantasy Cares. Just make a donation on your own and raise all this money, and then we all get to play each other. You ain't winning nothing. There's no money on the line here, but that's how much we still care about it because it's just that much fun to do. So if you haven't participated, make sure you go over to ScottFishBowl.com and you can sign up for SFB 14 now. So the sign up has begun. You can, you should have done it a while ago so you can get into the satellite leagues, which are all full, I think, on Underdog now, and the mirror leagues because you can win your way in.
Is that what you're in? You're in a mirror league?
Yeah, mirror league it's the same scoring, but it's best ball.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
And then if you win it, you can win into 2014.
Yeah, or 2014, bro. We're in 2023,
dude. You know what? Ironically, I'm sober tonight too. So
I know. After last
night, I have to say.
But yeah, Warrior Bowl. So We're kicking off. Ours is cooking. We're moving quick, but I'll let you start here too. So I just talked a bunch. So
yeah, no, 3 rounds in. It started today at noon. Like Streetz said, UK version of Scott Fish. All the donations were for charity. Same as ScottFishBowl. I'd pick 11, and I mean, I couldn't be any fucking happier. Unlike what happened to me in the ScottFishBowl, I had a couple quarterbacks available for me at 11. So I went ahead and I took my guy, Justin Fields, at pick 11. On the flip in the second round, T-Law was there. And I'm like, what? So yes, as Street said, in a super flex, I got no problem going quarterback, if it's the right guys. And my God, Fields and T-Law is my quarterback. And then on the third round, like I said, we're only through 3 rounds. I had the dreaded choice, the hardest choice. I want a running back. I want an RB1. AJ Brown just went the pick before me, who would have been my pick for sure. But that leaves me with the choice of Chubb, Pollard, and Jacobs. And it's that fucking question that I just spin through my head over and over and over and over. And this time I went with Chubb. I took Chubb. He's consistent. I know everyone, for the most part, everyone likes Jacobs in that situation. I think he's just going to get beat down into the ground. I took NickChubb, and I paired him up with the 2 quarterbacks. And I got my running back 1, and I'm feeling really fucking good about my 2 quarterbacks. Now, I'm going to go take my tight end in round 4. And after that, it is just BPA from here on out and have fun. Hoping to get Kittle again, just like I got Kittle. Or maybe I'll take Goddard in this one because I don't want to put all my ducks or all my chips into one guy. So maybe if Goddard's there, I'll take Goddard in the 4th round in comparison to Kittle. But I love me some George Kittle. So maybe if I get me some Fields with T-Law and Kittle, I might just have to have a bunch of my guys all on one squad. What about you, bro? How you feeling?
I love that classic Tim's back. Classic Superflex Tim's back now. Yeah, with his 2 quarterbacks in a row. I figured out how to do this, so hold on.
Yo, what's good, De Niro? Hope you're feeling good yourself, brother. Hope you're feeling good.
What's up, Mikey?
You probably can't even see. You don't even watch the screen. I forget you don't even look at the screen. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I was looking at. No, I'm pulling this up. That's why I'll show you.
No, I know.
I can show you my Warrior Bowl. I'll just take.
Boom, baby. Let's see it. Let's see it.
I could pull mine up, not yours, because it's on Sleeper. But yeah, so I picked 1-6, and I was really hoping. So this scoring, you also get a 0.1 point per rush. This one though, you do get negative scoring for quarterbacks too. So in ScottFishBowl, the theme was positive vibes this year. So there was no, I should recap that. You don't get dinged for interceptions or fumbles or any turnovers in ScottFishBowl. Now it's back to normal in Warrior Bowl. You do. But you do get the 0.1 per rush, and you get the first down bonus and everything else. And it's only 4 point per touchdown, or 4 point per passing touchdown in Warrior Bowl. So obviously it's super flex still, so you want the quarterback. But it just made me, I wanted Lamar Jackson at 1-6 because of the rushing upside that he also, I know if you were picking 1-6, you were taking Fields still there, probably regardless.
I was taking Fields, everything but 4. It would be, Mahomes, Hurts, Allen, Fields. I know, even over Burrow. Yeah. It is what it is.
Anyways, I got Burrow. So I got JoeBurrow finally. It's like probably gonna be my only JoeBurrow share. We'll see how it shakes out, I guess, as redraft season starts. I can't say that it won't. I just know where guys are taken ADP wise a lot, and I can, like, Josh Allen. Good chance I don't have any other Josh Allen just based on where he's going to go, because I have him in the 30s. If you head over to bloodlinenetwork.com, you can check the top 200. Actually, I'm going to update those rankings today. There's a lot of wide receiver changing I need to do on that. So we're going to have a big rankings change there. I'll probably get that in tonight. But he's going to go like pick 28, pick 29, some crazy. He always does. Allen, Mahomes, and Hurts always go.
Where did Fields go in yours? I'm trying to see. I don't see him. Where do you go?
Probably between 111 or 112, and I just can't see it on the board here.
All right. Yeah, because I'm looking at that. I'm like, where the fuck? I'm like,
yeah, no, he got drafted. He's not definitely not on the board. Okay. So yeah. So regardless, obviously I take JoeBurrow at 1-6. And then I hope I have more shares of this guy. I need to pick in the top 5 to probably get one, but regardless, I'm happy to now have a Bijan share. So I got Bijan Robinson. So Burrow Bijan. Again, I'm rainbowing it. Through 3, I rainbowed it with Amon-Ra. I didn't want to take guys. I also had an SFB. I kind of wanted to spread my shares around here, but Amon-Ra, man, the sun god, you got it. I just can't. Give me all the Amon-Ra I can possibly take this season, especially in PPR. In a full point PPR league, Amon-Ra, man, gonna be a monster. Top 5 finish in him for sure. Might be my bold take. Well, it might be a bold take I throw out there this year. And then I had a stack, right? Finally, I never get a stack. So when T. Higgins was sitting there, I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's stack T. Higgins and Burrow. So you do have to start 3 wide receivers in this too. So now I won't take one for a little while. And you do get it's 1.5. It's tight end premium, not as big as in the SFB, but it's 1.5 per catch for tight end here. So I took Goddard. Kittle was there too. But I took Goddard. I have them side by side. Preference choice right there. It doesn't make a difference. It's kind of splitting hairs. I think I have George Kittle shares. I have him in a dynasty. So I was like, you know what? I don't have any Goddard. So we'll just spread it out there. But that's what so far, that's my start there. There's some good guys left on the board still. I will probably punt quarterback 2 again now with JoeBurrow. We'll see. Anthony Richardson was tough right there at 5'7" to not possibly take, but you like I said, the interceptions and fumbles for this do count. So a little bit more risky to take him than in SFB. So overall, I like it so far. It's been a fun draft too. This is my first Warrior Bowl also for you, both of us here.
Yeah.
But it's
fun. I didn't even know what Warrior Bowl was until like 3 weeks ago, and glad I got in it because it's another fun draft. Again, donating some charity. It's been, I'm 3 rounds in. I love my team. Your team's, you got really nice, fun team, dude. I like your team a lot.
It's been, so do I. If I can get this team in some of my redraft leagues, I'd be completely ecstatic. In the league, obviously we're cooking through 5. Now it gets a little hairy, I think, at times because there's a lot of European players in these. Like we have a guy from Norway, so the whole sleep thing can get tricky, I bet. But the chat's been super active, and oh hi hon, love you, my wife.
He made sure he saw that comment.
I know. I got the screen up now. Thank you, hon, for watching. Mwah. Love you. So yeah, now I'm all sidetracked. Look at that. She threw me all off on that one. I got all blushed for her. But our chat's popping too in that Warrior Bowl room. Like everybody's chatting, laughing, having a good time. So another thing that kind of grows this community, and that's what I love about fantasy football, to be honest. I think fantasy football is the coolest community out there. You're going to meet some of the coolest people that you ever met on planet Earth, really, playing fantasy football, especially other content creators and just enthusiasts. So yeah, Warrior Bowl, ScottFishBowl, lots going on, and we're going to ramp up other stuff. So
let's do it, baby. It's I've had a blast, dude. ScottFishBowl was incredible. Yesterday was just so much fun. The draft has been a ton of fun. Warrior Bowl already has been a ton of fun. And let's get back into redraft mode, huh? It was like, a month ago maybe at this point, we did our...
I forgot I don't even know what the teams are anymore.
Yeah, I was looking at it today. I looked at like 4 picks, and I was like, oof, I would have picked this guy over this guy over this guy. I don't know what I was thinking. But what we did was we started our redraft, mock draft. So we did 2 rounds about a month ago. We'll run down the teams. We each drafted for six teams, and we're just doing 2 rounds at a time. So we did rounds 1 and 2 last time, and now we're going to do rounds 3 and 4 tonight. It's nothing too crazy. We're not going to be here all night. We just talked about what we're going to talk about, and we're just going to have some fun drafting this stuff out. So I'm not going to share. Do you want the screen? You want the spreadsheet on the screen or no?
Yeah, because I have a new laptop, so I don't have the note from that I did. I don't think. Let's see.
Here, I can screen share. I just don't know if it'll show up. Let me see what the good size.
Yeah, I don't have it anymore.
Can you see that or no?
Sort of.
I don't know. Yeah, right. It's the whole point. I can see it. Like if I watch the video, I can see it on the video, but the whole point is so you can see it, so you know who you got. But let me see. I could also let me just send you the link as well, and then you can just have access to it.
Yeah, that would
send you that way. I'll send it to you on Facebook, and then we could just leave it. We could just leave it on the screen like this, which is fine, because you can see it on there, and then people can see the teams as we go. So I'm gonna send that to you right now. Cool. Send that over your way. All right. So looking at these squads, as I said, we draft 6 teams each. Streetz started, and when Streetz me, you get the drill. Team 1, Streetz took Austin Eckler first overall, and then he partnered him up with Mark Andrews. I took CMC second overall, partnered him up with Jalen Waddle. Streetz followed suit with Justin Jefferson, paired him up with Travis Etienne. I took Saquon Barkley fourth overall, paired him up with Ramondre Stevenson. Streetz took marrchase fifth overall and partnered him up, of course, with his boy Amon-Ra St. Brown. 6th pick, I took Travis Kelce, partnered him with TonyPollard. 7th round, Streetz took Bijan. I was getting his Bijan stock on this draft. Partnered him up with Stephon Diggs. In the 8th round, I took JT. Partnered him up with NickChubb.
Not the 8th round.
Oh, 8th pick. My bad. Not 8th round. 8th pick.
If you're getting those guys in the 8th round, you need to find new leagues.
You're not getting any of these guys in the 8th round. You're not getting these guys in the 2nd round. 9th pick, Streetz took CooperKupp, followed up with JoshJacobs. 10th pick, I took Derrick Henry, followed up with Devontae Adams. 11th, Streetz took Tyreek Hill, followed up with Breece Hall. And 12th, I went with the stack of the AFC East wide receivers, CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown. So it would be Streetz back on the clock with a team that's got Austin Eckler and Mark Andrews.
I'm back on the clock. What do I have?
This one you got. I just sent this to you on Facebook too, so you should be able to see it on.
Oh, I see it now, so I don't have to look like a crazy.
Yeah. Otherwise, you'll have to zoom in. Cool, but yeah, this team you got Austin Eckler and you got Mark Andrews to start this one off.
I am going to. No, this one's easy. Okay, cool. Just make sure. I'll take Garrett Wilson with that pick. So that's where I would go there.
All right. So you're keeping your rainbow going, huh? You got Eckler, Andrews, and Garrett Wilson there.
Yep. I like balance. I like a lot of balance when I do these, unless something falls. But if something falls, you take it. But if not, I stick to my rankings, which I try to balance the rankings out themselves, so that kind of falls into place that way at times too. There's a method to my mayhem, like my method to my mayhem.
Okay, all right, I could dig that.
That's why I see a lot of groupings in my rankings, weird stuff like that. So
yeah, I see what you do with the running backs and the wide receivers. You put them together, and if you're watching live, you could see I already put my pick on the board. It's someone that I should have probably taken in the 2nd round, maybe even over Jalen Waddle. I don't know. I feel like I made a couple of mistakes in the 1st round. Like I took JT or Cooper. Yeah, I took JT over CooperKupp. If I was redoing this, I would definitely be taking CooperKupp over JT. I took Devontae Adams over Stephon Diggs. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking when I did that. I would definitely go back and take Diggs a little bit higher. So little small things there. But I'm going to go ahead, and at this point, it didn't matter that I took Waddle instead of Najee, because I'm going to go ahead and pair Najee up. So I'm going to get CMC with Jalen Waddle and NajeeHarris. And I'm feeling really good about Najee being my RB2 on the squad.
Yeah, he was he went in round 2, I think, of our SFB yesterday. The volume there plays a big factor in that. But yeah, once again, even in redraft, going to be a safer RB2 based on that volume, with obviously some upside still for there. So I like that. I will keep it moving. I have Justin Jefferson and Travis Etienne on this team. And I will keep it going, I'm going to take Keenan Allen would be my pick here.
Okay.
So I'd have Jefferson, Allen, ETN.
Jefferson,
So I want to make sure I get some good. I want to make sure with ETN because he's a back end RB1 for me, and we talked about him many. I think the talent is tremendous, and so you got to take the talent can sometimes just overcome a lot, but the fact his usage as a receiver, he's a riskier back for an RB1, so he might be more of an RB2. So I want to make sure that I beast up my wide receiving core there a little bit by taking him. And I have Keenan Allen, I believe, a top 14 wide receiver this year. My rankings, it's going to be pretty close to that. I love Kellen Moore, as we talked about, entering the Chargers there. Top 10 offense easily this season they're going to be. And we saw he was outside of Eckler, out of the receivers, that is. Keenan Allen was Herbert's guy down that stretch last year, and I think he's going to be a target hog there. I know they added your guy, Quentin Johnston. But I just think he takes over for Mike Williams. Mike Williams is going to miss time. He's 29 years old and misses time every year anyways. Keenan, to me, I know he was a little risky. He's older too, but I think it's just in a PPR league, man. I love Keenan Allen this year. So I'm going to be you're going to see a lot of Keenan Allen on my teams. And It makes sense when I have him ranked where I have him ranked. So that'll be the hill I die on as we talk about it a lot moving forward.
And that's a perfect segue to what Nick said. First of all, what's up, brother? Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you, my dude. And he says, as we all know, he'll take Justin Herbert over everybody. So it's a perfect segue right there. So let's see what we got on the next squad here. You took Keenan Allen. I'm curious. There's a couple of really solid wide receivers left. You got Devontae Smith, you got T. Higgins, so Chris Olave. You must really believe in Keenan Allen. I know a couple of those guys, more dynasty guys that get it a little younger. Devontae Smith is a stud. So that's where this team, I got two running backs. I got Saquon Barkley. I got Ramondre Stevenson. Do I do the wide receiver, and which one do I do? Am I Devontae Smith, T. Higgins, or Chris Olave? And I'm going to go ahead and take Devontae Smith as I think he is the best option on the board. So for this team, running back heavy with Saquon and Ramondre, pairing him up with Devontae Smith.
Yep, I like Smith. To me, Keenan I think he's going to be the clear-cut one for Herbert and a target monster for him. Like if we go back, we saw the last 10 weeks of the season for Keenan Allen, and he just dominated. So that's why. I love Devontae Smith too. We can argue Devontae Smith might take a bigger cut than A.J. Brown workload. He's super talented. Like Devontae.
He was still wide receiver 9 last year.
I know. And he's a Heisman winner. The pedigree's there. Like he's a legit bona fide guy. And everybody that was worried about, everyone was freaked out about Smith last year, which is kind of where I backtracked to the whole talent thing. It's why I like JSN. The talent will rise to the top. So Smith will get his still. So I like that pick. Next, I'm going to go. I have marrchase and Amon-Ra, which awesome start. So I'm going to tie that in with I'm going to tie that all. I'm going to take a running back now finally and get one of those on the board. And for that team, I'm going to take. I just need to make sure. I got to look at the other teams here that did not take it. I'm going to take Aaron Jones for that team. So that'll be my third round pick. Yeah, I'll get a running back on the board for those two guys. I think Aaron Jones this year, they're going to lean on the run game a little bit more. With Jordan Love taking over for Rodgers, but he does enough in both facets as a pass catching back too. So he's going to catch some passes, he's going to rush. Overall, I think the volume, he's a little older, but it's redraft, so it doesn't really bother me too much. And I think he's going to be a pretty good back this year. I think I have him as RB13.
I love Aaron Jones. I think he could be a RB1 this year. I really do. I think him and A.J. Dillon both are going to see a lot of volume this season. And Yo, I'm going to do it. It's time.
I knew you were coming.
Yeah. You know what it's time for. It's tough to take a quarterback so early in these things. We're halfway through the third round. You got 3 top flight quarterbacks, a couple other ones that are right there in that next tier. Solely since I already got Travis Kelce I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pair him and stack him up with Patrick Mahomes. And I'm going to do the Mahomes-Kelsey stack paired with Tony Pollard. So this team 6, Travis Kelce, Tony Pollard, and now Patrick Mahomes. Really liking this fucking start.
I had to let you take the quarterback first because it's more on par for your Brendan than it is mine. But if my overall rankings are going to surprise you, it's not that crazy because Mahomes is pretty much 2 picks away from where we're at right now, and I have him there. I think Mahomes, Hurts, Allen are the 3 guys that I'm kind of higher on, and I don't mind taking them over another tier of players. So I can't knock you on that. I think it used to be able to just punt quarterback, and like the old Phillip Rivers strategy was mine. I would take whoever I can get in round 10, even if it was Phillip Rivers. If somebody took Phillip Rivers, I'd take whoever I can after that, and somebody would drop Phillip Rivers by week 4, and then I'd scoop Phillip Rivers up, and he would average out the rest of the way, right? So that strategy, though, got a little harder. So I can't having one of those monster quarterbacks plays off well for you. It did last year. I ended up having Hurts. I just want to try to find I'm not opposed to taking them, but we'll talk about it as we get to it. I don't want to ruin later, but so I like that pick. Let's see.
Awesome. And before you go, what's up, Dirty Dan from the Bump Boys? He made his Bloodline Entertainment Network debut Saturday. No, it was Friday night. No, it was Saturday night. It was Saturday night. We were kicking it with the Bloodline. We were doing a wrestling thing. We watched Impact Wrestling live. Go back, kick it with us. Streetz came on. We talked some fantasy football to end the show. It was a good night. Thanks for tuning in, Dirty Dan.
All right, so I have Bijan and Stephon Diggs on this team. I'll take Joe Mixon on this one. So I'm gonna go Bijan, Diggs, Mixon for that team. Mixon, by the way, contract thing is over with. Still very risky in the whole, I don't know, legal battle, but we haven't heard anything about that, so I'm not sure how that's going to play out. But he's locked up now, and he's returning to Cincinnati, and I think he's kind of a value now in the 3rd round where you're getting him. We could talk about the overall efficiency and other things like that for Joe Mixon, but he's back in one of the best offenses in football as the lead running back there. So I like him again. And now you're getting him at discount a little bit. Like it's kind of baked into the cost. This was a top 18 pick last year. So first rounder.
Top 12 in a lot of leagues, bro. Top 12 in a lot of leagues.
So I'll take him here. And I'm going to pair him. Now I got Bijan, Mixon, Diggs. That's how we're going to start.
I'm surprised you didn't do the quarterback stack and take Josh Allen and stack him up with fucking Diggs.
Nah, I'm not. The stack thing to me, I get the gist of it, I guess. Like, and it makes more sense, and maybe I don't know. I'm not a big stack. The stack, I can live with it. I can live without it. I think it's in a best ball league probably plays a little bit more of a role, especially if you want to buy into those big time offenses. But I don't chase it per se. It's not my thing. I'll chase. If it falls to me, it falls to me. But I like Joe Mixon too much, and now with the news that he's back for sure, there. I like it a lot. A lot of touchdown upside for him. So, yeah.
I can dig it. And I'm going to keep it right there in Cincinnati with the Bengals, and I'm going to take T. Higgins. This team 8, we got JT on this squad. We got NickChubb. So we're running back heavy. We've got 2 potential RB1s. It's okay if I put a wide receiver 2 on there. Give me T. Higgins, pair him up with JT and Chubb, and I like the start of this squad for sure.
Well, look at you. So, team 9, I have CooperKupp, Josh Jacobs. I'm also not, like I said, he's going to play week 1. He's going to sit out a long time. I think you can get, like I talked about in the Josh Jacobs video, this almost can play well because if he keeps holding out and we get closer to the season and he's still holding out, which I think is going to happen because he doesn't want to get hurt, right? You don't want to get hurt in training camp or preseason or anything like that. But he's not going to leave $10 million on the table, sit out, and then possibly still not make money next year. Teams are going to be more reluctant. Like, did Le'Veon Bell set running backs back by doing that holdout thing because it backfired horribly for the Jets for Bell, everybody. So I think he ends up playing. He's going to sit out a long time, but you might get Jacobs at cost. I just wanted to, or even cheaper than cost at that. So I just want to go over there real quick. But on that team with Kupp, Jacobs, I have a legit beast running back and a legit beast quarterback. I'm going to take JalenHurts for this team.
Oh, okay. 3rd round QB Streetz. There we go.
When we get to Hawkinson and some of these other guys, like you took Smith, I got it. I get that, but we'll talk about why I guess I'll just say it. Like you thought I was going to take Hawkinson or something probably there, or one of those guys, and that I have in my range. But Hawkinson, I love him, and like I said, he's in the same tier as Mark Andrews, in a tight end premium type league. That's where I'm more willing to gamble that. I think he pulls back a little bit because if I had to give you the caveat of Jordan Addison possibly eating into some targets, and maybe he doesn't see that target share that he saw if Jordan Addison emerges into that offense, then he pulls back more to what? DallasGoedert and GeorgeKittle than he would of Travis Kelce and what we saw 2 years ago from Mark Andrews. So when it comes to that, I love Hawkinson, but I would prefer to take JalenHurts and get a monster quarterback out of the way. And then if Hawkinson falls to me after that on the way back down, then I take him. But
yeah,
I'm telling you what we're doing is we're doing it, so it might not end. But that's my
No, I'm gonna let it play out how I'm gonna let it play out. So with this,
that's my thing with Devontae Smith though too. So I have him after the 3 quarterbacks for that reason, because he is the 1B in a sense. That I probably have one of those wideouts. It's just where I start finding the caveats with players. So I'll take the quarterbacks now, and then we'll come back to the caveat guys that I think can still be monsters. But go ahead.
Where it's crazy, I actually feel the opposite as of right now, where I'll take a Devonta Smith or a T. Higgins over one of these quarterbacks, barring a stack situation like putting Mahomes and Kelce together, or had I had Diggs and put Allen with him or something along those lines, solely because in another round or 2 or 3, you'll see a Lamar there. You'll see a Herbert there. You'll see a Fields there. I do believe in those guys as well, where I believe more in a Devonta Smith and a T. Higgins than I'm going to believe in those wide receivers that are going to be there. And, next time we get around to those rounds, let's get this conversation and bring it back up and see how we're feeling. And then what is this team? So we got, all right, Team 10, Derrick Henry, Devontae Adams. Don't love that pick. No, don't love that pick at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go running back, wide receiver. Oh, man, the problem here is I guess there's 2 wide receivers that I'd be okay getting if one came back to me. You know what? I'm gonna take Josh Allen and just hope that he continues to do what he does. I'm gonna take his quarterback points right here and hope for the best with the wide receiver on the other side. Only because I want to make sure that I'm gonna get one of these 3 big guys. I don't love the Devontae Adams pick on this team, so I'm gonna try to find the highest upside player possible right now, which is why I'm kind of going against what I literally just said, because you got Chris Olave out there. So, like that's who I'm between right now. I'm between Josh Allen and Chris Olave. I could go ahead and take Chris Olave, make sure I got a wide receiver 1, hypothetically, because you have Devontae. I don't trust the quarterback situation there. But Devontae is Devontae. You go throw the ball to Devontae. If he's playing, then go look what he did in the championship game for me. Fucking 30-plus points. With who the fuck throwing him the football? So it doesn't, that's why I took Josh Allen. Give me someone who's going to score the most possible points with this team right now. I love Derrick Henry. Devontae, still 50-50 on. So give me Josh Allen to pair with Devontae and Derrick Henry. Let's see. We got a comment. We got Draft Me, the real Dirty Dan. We have a Dirty Dan competition going on right now. So,
Josh Allen I like, by the way. I do think, though, that there's a clear – those 3 – just they're safer, but they're also just a little bit ahead. There's the risk is way less on me for those 3 guys than it is on as we get into the Lamars and Fields. Like, obviously, Lamar and Fields can could be very, very good for you, but there's also caveats to both of them. Injury risks now for Lamar as they piled up a little bit on him. Could Fields join the injury because of the whole, obviously, rushing so much? But the other, I'm not worried too much on that. But for Fields, he has to take the next step. So he has to improve as a passer. Can't turn the ball over as much as he did. So, like, those are the caveats. I still like these guys probably around, they're still probably top 50 picks for me. But Allen, Mahomes, and Hurts. And Burrow's close. I have him as a close fourth. I think he's just, I don't know if he's ever going to do what Mahomes did last year. Mahomes is just the best player in the NFL, but and he lacks the rushing of Allen and Hurts. I like the rushing that those two add, so that's why they're in that top tier, just slightly ahead of Burrow, who's kind of in an island, and then the rest come into play. But I like the Allen pick, especially with, like you said, with Henry and Adams. Get yourself to beat the bona fide top 3 quarterback now with those guys calling a day. I have Tyreek Hill and Breece Hall on this team now. And I probably will take. Now we'll get into it because now those quarterbacks are going. So I'm going to take TJ Hawkinson. So I'll have Tyreek Hill, Breece Hall, and TJ Hawkinson. I want to get I do, as much as I didn't mean to crap on him with the whole Jordan Addison thing. I just don't know if he's really going to be a top 2 tight end. That's just the catch for me. But the next tier of guys I have here, I think he's the clear favorite. So I'm going to get my tight end off the board here, and one that I am fairly high on still this season.
Okay, and now I'm on the flip, and I would have definitely taken TJ Hawkinson here had I had the opportunity, but that was a great pick. As we talked about earlier, you got to go ahead and take the positional weakness, basically look at your board. Hawkinson has way more value here than one of these wide receivers.
That's part of it, by the way. I just want to relay real quick too. Like, that's part, like I saw you have 2 receivers there. So the one thing I couldn't take is I knew I have to take that's something that's not a wide receiver, where you're likely not to go with those 2. So.
Right. Yep. Totally fair. Which means, I have to get a running back for sure. I got wide receiver, stud wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown. Really love both guys. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do it. I'm not going to call them wild cards. I'm going to take Kenneth Walker. First of all, stud when he played. Obviously they drafted Zach Charbonnet. So we'll see what that entails. I just still think that he's going to fucking go off. He's going to be their bell cow, I think, and they might run the ball fucking 400 times. So, who knows? But I really like Kenneth Walker still. And then a guy who I don't particularly love, but I just read the volume, or I read what I read. I think the volume is going to be there in the pass game. So I'm going to go ahead and take Jahmyr Gibbs as well and pair him with Kenneth Walker. And I'm going to have CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown, Kenneth Walker, and Jahmyr Gibbs as my first 4 on this team. It's I don't know if this is something I would do in real life, but I don't hate this team at all.
No, Lamb, Brown, Walker, Gibbs, that's pretty good. Hill, Breece, Hawkinson. So I kind of get, there's the rainbow start we were just talking about. So you kind of have a little flexibility, kind of go anyway with this one. And as Bakley kind of just pointed out here too, yes, we don't know. We don't want Dalvin Cook to the Jets. Nobody wants that. Patriots also stay away from those 2 teams. Miami's his fit to go there. That's where we need him to go. So, because then otherwise we're just Jeff Wilson and Mostert are the 2 guys that no one really. It's like a type thing, anyways. And the offense is more fun there for Dalvin Cook too. So that's kind of what we're looking for. But with that said, Breece Hall, a little risky, right? There's no doubt about that. What's going on, Devin?
Good. What is
Happy
good,
Monday.
Devin? Thank you for tuning in, brother.
But Breece Hall's a little risky. He sure is. But I still like him. You love
Breece Hall. You love Breece Hall probably more than most.
even coming in as a rookie, I was on that train. And look what he did. When you watch him play football, he's special.
Right.
So it's like, that's what I like about him a lot. And the injury doesn't scare me too much. So as long as Dalvin Cook would ruin it, but he would not scare me too much.
Yeah.
But on this team, I'm actually going to take
Gonna have to break out the Jeopardy soon.
I know.
Where's Nick?
I'll go with Chris Olave for this team. So I'll have Hill, Olave, Breece Hall, and Hawkinson now.
Yeah, that's a great pick. That's a great pick. Yo,
I'm just
what
not
up,
sure.
Ryan? Thank you for tuning in. Any fantasy football spots open? Yo, Brian, we'll talk about the Bloodline League when we were talking about that earlier, for sure. All right, well, my bad, Streetz. What were you saying?
Oh, yeah. So Olave, I just don't know if he'll be going to be like a bona fide top 5 wide receiver this year. I don't know if the path's there, if Michael Thomas is healthy. Now we'll see how the Derek Carr thing kind of, like the talent from Olave, bar none, best wide receiver on that team. I don't know if Michael Thomas has anything in left, although he showed it in the first couple weeks last year again, that he can still go out there and play. So if he is healthy, do they eat? I don't know. That's just I'm not ready to move him into that next tier yet. So I have him more as a safer wide receiver too, with a crap ton of upside, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if he finished as a top 12 wide receiver. But that's not where I want to draft him at. So that's why I kind of put him in this boat. But I'll go Olave there.
I'll be 100% honest with you. When I just took the Josh Allen pick, I also crossed off the Chris Olave name. So I forgot. I thought he was gone. Otherwise, I would have totally taken him with Kenneth Walker and just fucking ran rough shot on that wide receiver room.
So wide route, yeah. And PPR, you can flex wide out all day. So
so I'm pretty upset that I fucking crossed his name off, because I would have went Walker and I would have went Olave right there, and I would have went AJ Brown, CD Lamb, Walker, Olave. I digress. I love that you just got Hawk and Olave on this fucking turn. That very, very productive turn right there. Let's see what Bakley says. He says Breece Hall, Brock Purdy college duo for 2 years. There you go. There's a little factoid. Devin, so what was your guys' first pick in the mock draft? Oh man, it's all right here. So if you go, if you see the,
I can't read it, but if you can read it, maybe
you can see it on the phone. Yeah, it's all right here. So basically, we are drafting 6 teams, or we're each drafting 6 teams. Streetz started, and then it went me, Streetz me. You get the drill. Streetz started off with his number 1 overall player, Austin Eckler. I took Christian McCaffrey. Streetz went Justin Jefferson. I went Saquon Barkley. Maybe it would have changed a little bit after the news today. Again, we did this the first month. We drafted the first 2 rounds a month ago when we were on the show. Now we're on rounds 3 and 4 tonight. But yeah, the first round went Eckler, CMC, JJ, Saquon, Jamar, Kelsey, Bijan, JT, Kupp, Henry, Hill, Lamb. And then we're ripping through the 4th round right now. And on this team, I got Derrick Henry, I got Devontae Adams, I got Josh Allen. Man, this team, I kind of want to just complete the what do you call it? The rainbow and color it in and take the tight end right here. But I don't know if I want to take Kittle so early. But just because there's really, to me, only like 6 tight ends, I am going to do that. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take GeorgeKittle right here. And I'm going to have my quarterback. I'm going to have a running back. I'm going to have a wide receiver. And I'm going to have a tight end. So I got in this team Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Devontae Adams, and George Kittle to start. I'm digging it. I'm digging this team a lot more than I got Allen and Kittle.
Let's see. I have CooperKupp, Josh Jacobs, and JalenHurts. So I got 3 guys that can bona fide finish top 3 at their position. Next, I'm going to go.
You got to flip your screen, Devin. You got to flip that screen, bro. You can see it all. Maybe flip that screen.
So I got the top end quarterback. So that's why I'm kind of glad I kind of did this now. because now I got the quarterback that I want, and I'm gonna take a little risk on next wide receiver here, but I'm gonna go with DJ Moore on the fourth round pick here. So I'd have Kupp, Moore with Jacobs and Hurts. I think there's a path for DJ Moore to be this year's AJ Brown. A lot of people are afraid because of the volume of the pass, like of the Bears offense, but I can assure you they want to throw the football more than they did a year ago. And he's going to see a lot of targets this year in that offense, DJ Moore. So if you're looking for that fourth, fifth round type wide receiver that you can snag that has top 20 or top 12 overall upside for wide receiver, to me, it's DJ Moore. Maybe that's the Bears fan and me being a little biased, but that's the breakout candidate, the recipe for it that we're all looking for. So,
yo, no bullshit. Between GeorgeKittle and DJ Moore, that's where I was at. DJ Moore is going to be picked here very shortly. Now, obviously, it is probably the Bears fan in us. You've been on the DJ Moore hype train for years, which makes me even more excited as a Bears fan for him to come in. And if you just look at his numbers in comparison to a guy like A.J. Brown, in comparison to a guy like Stephon Diggs before they were traded, his numbers are actually better than what they were doing on their teams, which is why I am so very excited to see what he can do. So I love that pick, bro. Homer, sure. Love the pick. Anyway, let's see what we got. We got Team 8 coming up. We got JT. We got NickChubb, T. Higgins. So 2 running backs, potential 2 RB1s. T. Higgins, the wide receiver 2 on his team, definitely locked in at a wide receiver 2. Right here, I'm probably going to want to go with another wide receiver. Amari Cooper had a really fucking quietly great year, wide receiver 1 season last year with Cleveland. I think Deshaun Watson's just going to get better. He's their dude over there. I'm going to take Amari Cooper, and I'm going to go JT. Oh, shit, no. 2 Browns? No. I'm not doing that. Nope. Scratch that shit. Sorry, just saw it. I will, you know what? He was wide receiver. I think still was wide receiver 22 last year. I could be wrong. Still wide receiver, a wide receiver 2, period. Give me DKMetcalf at this point. Too much talent there. I know that you got JS on there. I don't think Streetz, I know you have said that you think he's going to eat into DK, but you have also said that you think that DK is going to see red zone targets. So give me DKMetcalf here.
Well, he saw an insane amount of red zone targets last year. Just didn't capitalize on any touchdowns with Geno. If he repeats those red zone targets, yeah, he's going to outproduce ADP, but because he has to score more touchdowns if he sees that in Monaghan. I don't know if he will see that many red zone targets.
He's on my DND list, but at this point, we have to draft
he's still wide receiver 20 to me. So he's still an.
I'd rather Amari Cooper right now, as I just said. Amari Cooper's first, but I'm not putting 2 Browns together. I did 3 Broncos last year. What a fucking joke!
That's because everyone was all in on the Broncos.
Yeah, but still, that was bad. Yo, I want to give a shout out. What's up, Warren Marlowe from
Warren?
Buzzing with Marlowe. Thank you for tuning in. He says my boy Tila going to be a top pick in many drafts. I like Tila.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You just took him as a top pick in Warrior Bowl.
I did. In the Warrior Bowl, I took him in the 2nd round. Sure did. And I love it. Fields and Tila. I've loved Sunshine since Clemson. That kid was a stud. The only person that beat him was Joey B. And then, of course, the Ohio State University. Dylan, what is good? Thank you for tuning in. And Big Whopping. He's a big boy, man. Big physical boy for sure. And at this point,
I wasn't paying attention. I missed Nick too. Oh man, thanks, Nick. The other guy who make us look pretty.
Oh yeah, you must have not been on the screen at the time.
I know. I was probably doing something else. So thank you, Nick. Love you, buddy. Also, and Dylan.
Hell yeah.
And Devin, the countdown. 3 of them make this show look much better than it's ever looked before. Not our faces.
Your face. You're the face that runs the fantasy space, bro. It's not my face. It's your face. Don't say that.
I like DK. It depends. I like DK at a point. That's where I like DK. When you get to a certain point and a back end wide receivers too, for me, that's kind of where I prefer him more. The days of the alpha DK are gone. I think we've seen a decrease 3 years in a row, wide receiver 7 to like wide receiver 14 to wide receiver 16 last year. Geno Smith obviously took over, who's fine, but we'll see. You still got to take him eventually. He's still a wide receiver too. So I just don't want to. I want to temper people's expectations that are taking him with this overall thought that he could be a top 12 wide receiver. I don't know if those days are.
Let me ask you then. So Bakley says, "Well, DK go in round 4." I got Amari Cooper over him, which is why I was about to pick Amari Cooper again. But you got other guys like Calvin Ridley, Scary Terry. Who are you taking? Those guys over DK? Or are you taking DK over them?
So I would probably take. Let's see. No, I'm still okay with. I would still take DK over Amari. So that's where we're different. So I'm okay with that pick. I would probably take Debo still, Christian Watson over DK though.
DameonPierce, just fucking say his name, DameonPierce. When does DameonPierce go by DP? Who the fuck is DP? When we're talking about
of that, by the way,
DKMetcalf, say motherfucking DameonPierce.
So I have Bijan, Stephon Diggs, and Joe Mixon on this team. So speaking of the devil, I'm going to go with DameonPierce on this team.
Love it.
So we'll have Bijan. I'm doing a 3 running back build here for this team. So Bijan, Mixon, and DameonPierce to go with Stephon Diggs so far at wide receiver. So we're going to see how this one ends up. So yes, DameonPierce to me should be going in this range.
Absolutely. And we're in lockstep together. All right. Because just as you were going to take DJ Moore, I love DameonPierce. He was coming up here. Bakley says, thank you, Streetz, not TK. We're talking about DK Metcalf, and you put DP in the comments.
I know you can't do that. It makes it probably the same thing. But yeah, I love DameonPierce this year. If he can just get into a little bit, like we talked about, a little bit of third down over Devin Singletary. I don't think Devin Singletary scares me at all anyways. But if he does take over third down role, it decreases a little bit because we need to see some catches. I'd like to see 30 of them if he can get into some third down work there. But regardless, I still see 15 carries a game on an improved offensive line with a rookie quarterback that wants to run the football. He's still better quarterback than what they've had. So they could surprise the Texans. They play in a bad division anyway, so it's like, why not? I could see a path. And plus, he was a missed tackle machine. Like, if you watch DameonPierce when he last year, before he got hurt, the guy could ball. He's a good running back. I think he was first in missed tackle percentage last year. So with an improved line, improved quarterback play, rookie quarterback too, so they're going to lean on the run a little bit. I like DameonPierce this year. People are like, but he doesn't catch passes. I'd love it if he did get all the third down work. But you do realize, like, if he was getting the third down work, we'd be taking him much higher than where he's going now. Like, we're on the back end RB2s here. So we're looking for guys with upside, and he has it. He'd be going around earlier or possibly on a second. So I think it bakes right into that cost. But yeah, go ahead.
It sure does bake into it, doesn't it, Bakley? I know Bakley loves DP. You know.
Oh,
anyways,
look at that. Oh, you're going now. Here he goes.
Anyways, I got my squad. He's already written down, and I'm gonna just go ahead and complete the rainbow here. Travis Kelce, Tony Pollard, Patrick Mahomes. What do I need? I need a wide receiver. Just said I would have taken Amari Cooper 2 picks ago. Fuck, when I take him right here. So give me Amari Cooper to put with Mahomes, Pollard, and Kelce. I like this squad. I like this squad a lot. Like, this would be a squad that I'd have a lot of fun with to start the year.
The middle rounds are always fun. I think I'm liking, don't get me wrong, it's always fun to pick 2 guys in the beginning and the end. But I think the middles are the sweet spots these days. Just kind of how it all shakes out. I kind of like the middle from, not going to lie. I mean, I love the 1-3, but like that we did in ScottFishBowl, but the middle seems to be more attractive. Some of these builds I do. I pick anywhere, don't freaking matter. But so Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Aaron Jones. So man, I really want it. So I like, you know what? I think the running backs that are going to come back around are going to be almost similar to who's on the board now. So I'm going to take JoeBurrow. and I'm going to go with Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. So I have Burrow, Chase, St. Brown, and Aaron Jones.
Stacking. You got all your guys on this team minus Jones.
I know. So it was tough, but Burrow was there, and I think at 1-5, you only have 4 teams picking next. So I think even if they take a couple running backs here, a few, I still get one on my way back down. We're going to see how it shakes out, but this is where you gamble a little bit on what's on the board. And like, I'd still rather have Burrow than Lamar and Fields. So, and you have Chase, so it was like sitting right there for you. Like, you got Jamar Chase, go get your. So sometimes the stack, like, you don't chase the stack. That's the one thing I don't like to do. But when it falls to you, you take it. So it worked out perfect.
Oof. Man, I love it. I love that team. I love that team a lot because I'm a big Aaron Jones guy. Not like I don't root for the guy, but I'm a big Aaron Jones guy in fantasy. So I really like that team you put together right there. Team 5 might be my favorite. I don't know. I'll have to re-examine, but Team 5 is looking very, very fucking nice. Team 4, Saquon Barkley, Ramondre Stevenson, and Devonta Smith.
Where do you go now?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Because you got, like you said, you got. I mean, really, I'm just looking at like one running back right here at this point. There's a couple wide receivers who are all in the same range to me. I'm looking at 2 running backs, actually. I really, really want to take a gamble on someone. You know what? Fuck it. Everyone, even the way all the other wide receivers in the league hyping him right now, saying he's top 5 wide receiver talent. Give me Calvin Ridley to see what he's got with T-Law. Let me see what they do in that offense. I know Christian Kirk, I think he was wide receiver 11 last year in that offense. Ivan Ingram had a really good year with T-Law last year. I'm curious to see what Calvin Ridley does. Do I think the end of the 4th round is a little too soon for him? I don't know. I think he's going to be a wide receiver 2. So we're in that low-end wide receiver 2 range. So I guess here's where I'm looking at. It's between him, Scary Terry, or Debo. And I think that Ridley has the highest upside of them, which is why I'm going to take Ridley first.
Calvin Ridley. So we'll go quicker here. Try to wrap this up. Justin Jefferson, Travis Etienne, Keenan Allen. So on this team, I'm going to go ahead and I'll take I'm going to go. I mean, we got Etienne already, so might as well keep building risky backs on this team. The receivers I'm fine with, but I'm going to go with Cam Akers on this team.
Wow. Damn.
Look, Cam Akers won my Southwest Airlines Award at the end of the season last year. Remember that? Because by the time you got Cam Akers, it was too late. So the people who drafted Cam Akers really probably didn't benefit from Cam Akers. But he did look good down the stretch. And we know, like, Stafford's back. Kupp. Are we maybe too low on that offense in general? Sean McVay, is a genius, right? Not like he's a good head coach. Maybe we're the injury risk, sure, kind of gets us all a little worried, but I don't know. By the end of the year, that Achilles started looking a little bit better, right? And we've seen how running backs look in that system. So I kind of like the lead back who looks like he's going to get a 3-down back too there under McVay. So I kind of like Cam Akers.
I'm just surprised you didn't take him over this guy. So I'll be quick. I'll go out and pencil him in. You talked about him earlier. You got him on your ScottFishBowl. Give me J.K. Dobbins in this spot. I got CMC, Jalen Waddle, and NajeeHarris. I'll go running back heavy right here. I think Dobbins is the best player on the board. So give me J.K. Dobbins to fill that, I guess, start filling my flex spot. And what I always like to do is, if you could load at one position, it means eventually someone's going to need that position, and then go trade for what you need down the road.
Yeah, so I love J.K. Dobbins too this year. He would have been next. The one thing I'm certain with more for Cam Akers, though, is just volume. I'm pretty sure Cam Akers is going to see a lot of volume. And that's I have him in the same tier. They're all very close to each other in this one. They're all I have a couple. Jahmyr Gibbs is in that same tier. Kenneth Walker of what these running backs. DameonPierce. All these guys are kind of there. But with ETN, talented, but with the volume concerns, I need to make sure I'm getting a guy who's going to touch the ball 20 times a game. And that's what I'm pretty sure Cam Akers is going to touch the ball. But you can't go wrong because I think J.K. Dobbins he's a home run swing. He could be, if they let him touch the ball enough, he could be a monster this year. Now another year removed from the injury. We kind of saw it with Barkley, right? So, yeah, I'm all in on Dobbins also. But it's this tier is very close for me. All these guys: DameonPierce, J.K. Dobbins, Cam Akers. There's a Jahmyr Gibbs, even Dalvin Cook, barring the Miami thing. So, all right. Anyways, we're wrapping up here, so I don't want to. Eckler, Andrews, Garrett Wilson. So I have kind of the rainbow start, right, with this team. So you got a tight end, you got a running back, and you got a wide receiver. I love top 3 upside on all 3 of these players, so you can kind of go either way. So you stick a lot of times too in the first 4 rounds. You can do builds, but I also like to stick to BPA. I like to stick to my ranks. So I don't want to reach too far off that because you can, with the flex and everything, you can kind of go multiple ways. And we play in a lot of 3 wide receiver leagues too, so keep that in mind. Always know your roster construction. I'm gonna go. With this team, let's see. Yep. We're going to complete the rainbow start, and I'm going to go Justin Fields.
Oh, nice. All right.
I have him ranked 44, by the way, Justin Fields, so it's not that crazy. He's kind of right here in my rankings. He was down. I kind of had it torn between him. I don't know where Cook is going yet. If I needed a running back, Dalvin Cook would have probably been the guy. But because I have Austin Eckler, I have my running back 1. I didn't feel the need to gamble Cook yet, not knowing where he's going. Next up would have been James Conner probably, because I do feel like before Kyler gets back, he's probably going to get another monster workload, and they're going to run the football a lot. He's another guy I have in the same tier, by the way, with Dobbins and them. I also like him. I probably got to move Dobbins up a little bit. The one guy I definitely need. It's funny when you do these rankings 2 months ago and you look at him now, like, man, a little bit has changed here. Like, I think I need to move Judy up too. We'll probably talk about him in the next round when we do that. But I think I need to move Jerry Judy up. I like the reports. I like everything I hear coming out of Denver right now. And you're right. I like Russell Wilson to bounce back. So I think I'm going to have to move. I'm doing rankings updates as we're talking here now. So that's a whole other show.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Yo, it was a blast, dude. Really good stuff. Let me unshare the screen right here. Devin said you can't see it anyways. You can't see it. If you got it on mobile, you got to flip your device this way, and then you could see it.
Yeah. That was fun. That was a blast. I'm sure this is my favorite part of mocking now too. Is I'm sure if we do this mock in a month, it'll give you completely different. Like,
oh yeah,
that's my favorite part of rankings is you just people move around and you move things around. Dalvin Cook, I have him ranked 41. I'm going to keep him here for now because I think if he does Miami's my hunch, and if he goes to Miami, I love him there. Yeah, if he goes to the Jets or New England, good Lord, he's going to he's going to the 60s, 70s probably. That's how bad it gets. And Ramondre and Breece Hall get dinged a ton too if those are his spots. Like it would crush me with my I love Ramondre, and I think finally New England has a back that we can use in fantasy, and sure enough, Cook going there would just kill it all. So I'd have to move him out of that one. But yeah, it's a fun range here. I did have DK at 51, but I think I need to move Judy. I don't know how I messed that up. Judy needs to be ahead of DK to me. I know to you not, he wouldn't because you took it to
not yet.
So you would.
Yeah.
But I think to me they're going to flip-flop that spot, and I'm probably going to move JK above Connor. That's where I think the one thing I got to do too. And I got to put then JK basically it literally is bunched in with Pierce, Akers, Cook, Gibbs, and Walker. So you take your favorite of those backs when you get to that point. I do it. Oh, Hopkins at 48. I'm probably gonna have to move him down.
Yeah, not knowing where he's at. Oh no, yeah, the Titans. He's in the Titans now. I don't know that helps him, but he's another guy like we were talking about with Devontae. As long as you put the ball in his jurisdiction, he's going to go and catch it. So,
no, Bakley, you're spot on. Camp injury, dude, that's why it's tough to draft right now. It's so much can change in the next 2 months that everything just changes drastically in rankings. There's still guys not signed. We have Zeke, Fournette, Kareem Hunt, like just all the Grim Reaper is rearing its ugly head to a lot of running backs still. So like, yeah, these are definitely, it's a fluid situation when you do rankings. You have to make sure we update it quickly. That's why drafting like Labor Day weekend is always the best bet. Because then like the season starts like that next week. That by then everything kind of shakes out.
No injuries then.
We're gambling a ton right now with what we know. But anyways, that was fun, Tim.
Blast, bro. It was an absolute blast, dude. And yeah, I mean, we ripped up on our ScottFishBowl, and we ripped up on what we're doing in Warrior Bowl, and we just did our rounds 3 and 4 of our mock draft. And for if you guys are watching us for the first time, like I always say, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button for more content just like this. We got sports, we got wrestling, we got entertainment, we got the works. And also, you know, Streetz is a face that runs the fantasy space. You want to watch him. If you don't want to watch us, you can listen to us. Put the Bloodline Entertainment Network into your Google search bar, and you can listen to us. Spreaker, Spotify, iHeart, Apple Music, anywhere you get your audio, you can get us. And when you do that, what's going to pop up? BloodlineNetwork.com, your place for sports, wrestling, entertainment, all of our videos, all of our audio, our merch. We got merch. Go and get our fucking merch. Everything we do, all under one roof. BloodlineNetwork.com. Streetz, it was a fucking blast, man. I'm really happy that I'm doing this on Mondays with you again. Thank you for hosting this shit, baby.
No problem. I had a blast. Yeah, we'll do rounds 5 and 6 next. Add some other stuff in. Thank you for tuning into the Roto Slappers. Roto Slappers Fantasy Football right here exclusively on the Bloodline Entertainment Network. Also, Roto Slappers Fantasy Football got quite a bit coming up. Not just Roto Slappers. I don't know. Fantasy Football period on the Bloodline has a lot of stuff coming up. We got a bunch of this. I can't wait for the season to start because should I here? I love playing it. I'm just gonna do it real quick. No, I won't play it. That's too long. Anyways, we're gonna do a football show on Sundays. What time are we gonna start?
We'll do it probably like 9:30 Central.
Yeah, that's
probably like 9:30 to 10:30.
Could be closer to 10 some mornings, but that's fine. But anyways, we're gonna go on. But right before sit questions, lineup stuff, all answered for you every Sunday before football starts here. So we're gonna have fantasy football covered to a T. So you heard about Maddie Monday night. Now you know about Sunday. So stay tuned. And rankings. You're gonna rank eventually, and
hopefully
so there'll be some aggregated rankings that go there. Yeah. Rankings is tough. I learned this with baseball because it takes like right now it's the off season, so I don't have to update it too often. It's a slower process. As we get closer to the season, it's gonna like already I'm looking at my rankings going, what the hell is I gotta change this. So every time you look at it, you almost feel like I gotta change it because you don't like it. So it's tough, but we'll have rankings on bloodlinenetwork.com. Make sure you head over there. Top 200 is already out. We are going to I'll have an update for that, if not tonight, by tomorrow morning. So we'll share that too once that's done. Now that we did rounds 3 and 4, I could finally put out the 120 part 3. I did not want to get that out until we finished the draft because it spoils everything. So now we're going to put that article out, and we'll get that out too this week. So a lot of cool stuff here from Roto Slappers Fantasy Football. And as usual, stay tuned for everything here on the Bloodline Entertainment Network. Like this guy to my side over here, his AEW review show, where he gets AEW, the official page, to tune into the review show. Kills it with the AEW stuff. I'm just a newly found expert at AEW, but make sure you listen. You're going to want to believe whatever he says about AEW, not me. And stay tuned for everything else, like we talked about. All the awesome shows that come on. And make sure you stay tuned tonight and head over to Twitch in a little bit. The First Lady herself is going to take over and play some video games on the Twitch channel. I always forget which 2 of the games. Detroit something tonight or something. Star Wars one.
Detroit Become Human every Tuesday, and she does Jedi Survivor every. No, wait, did I say Tuesday? No,
yeah, Monday.
Detroit. I honestly thought today was Tuesday. Fuck.
Yesterday threw us all off. I know.
Yeah, I don't know. Detroit Become Human every Monday. Was she playing tonight? Right, coming up here in about 25 minutes on the Twitch. So get on over to Twitch right now. And then she does Jedi Survivor every Tuesday. Now that I got my days processed correctly again.
There's all kinds of fun stuff added now too. I can't even run down all the shows anymore. They're so.
There she is.
There she is, getting ready.
First lady, there you go. Go get her. Go over and see her right now.
Go watch her play some games.
Yeah. There you go, Bakley. Yeah, Bakley knows it all.
Bakley knows. There you go. Jedi.
He do, of course. I know what day she does it. I just thought it was Tuesday for like 14 minutes. That was it. Yeah, that was all.
The Bloodline Network just spits hot fire these days. So much dope ass stuff that comes out. So make sure you stay tuned to all of that stuff, and we'll have some Roto Slappers fantasy baseball for your playoff push with the value changes when we get Blake's voice back.
Yes.
So we will be back on that one also too. So thank you as always. We appreciate each and every one of you that tune into these mock drafts. We're going to do a ton more of them. We have some other mocks coming up with some other new people. So we're going to do mock drafts. If you're interested in doing a mock draft, please reach out to us and let us know as we get closer to the season, because we got a lot more mock drafts to go. We're going to mock draft the crap out of fantasy football this year. But that's it.
And sorry, I know last thing we're going right now. We are leaving right now. But as you said, mock draft, you're right. We are tentatively scheduled like 98% locked down with TBQ Sports next Monday night for a live mock draft. So you like my mock drafts, you like collaborations, you like what we do. We got 4 entertaining ass dudes likely coming on with us, or 2 or 3, whatever it is. We're gonna have a good mocking time next Monday.
You got it. All righty, guys. Tim, it was a pleasure, my man. Go watch JD now. We love y'all. We'll see you later.
How hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.